welcome back to Madam Bonsai channel. So many requests wanted me to do a juniper. So today, this is a tree probably sit in my garden for so long. It belonged to someone back then, but when she sold the whole garden, this tree was there. Never think of it, but today I wanted to restyle this, repot this, make it more bonsai for us to enjoy. So hopefully you enjoy what I do today together with me. Same thing everyone, just get a tree out of the pot, or I can style this first, but I think I'm going to put it into the new pot first and then we can style it together. I don't like this cascade look, and also I don't like the pot that much, maybe for a flower. The soil she have in here is really damp. You see, you squeeze it to turn into that. So, but funny enough, the tree is still very healthy. So yeah, we do the same thing, just rake the trees out, or the soil out, I mean. This lady just had a lot of bonsai in her garden, but she did mention she never repot, even like after 20 years. It just live in that. Her son do the same. Son is in Melbourne, mother in Sydney. Both of their garden end up in my garden for some reason. So I'm going to remove this completely. I shouldn't even water this tree a few days ago, so it's cleaner for me to work, but what done is done. The tree is healthy, but look at the root. It's not really anything there. Very old tree though. Let's see what we can do with this. What I'm thinking, you see how the tree was cut a cascade. I wanted to bring this tree up, and I'm going to train it to a very small tree. So I'm going to put into this pot here. This is a micro pot, which is like the Korean make these. They're very light. They look like bonsai. They're really gentle too. They look like plastic, and I really like them when you want to train some tree. So I'm going to pot this up, and then we style it together, okay? Same thing. Drain it for the tree. You guys must get bored with this. I do the same thing and say the same thing all the time. If you get bored of something I do, just let me know so next time I don't do it. Same thing, darling. Just drain this into it. Secure wire. David know when not to show you what all the boring part of the video, but if you do bonsai, just try to give yourself all this good habit of secured trees, soil. All these process are the one that you need to learn, then your bonsai will always be healthy. If you see the hose is a bit big, don't skip not to put the drainage in, because the soil gonna go, and in time, if you see the hole is big and you don't put the net to stop the soil go, they run off. If the root doesn't grow fast enough, it will create the air pocket underneath the tree without you knowing. The air pocket in the tree kill more tree than anything you can imagine. So spend a bit of time. Don't hurry with your tree. I sometimes hurry because I worry you guys get bored. But if you do it at home, give yourself a really good patient habit to do all this. So it wasn't for the video, I do the same. I will be a lot slower. Same thing, a bit of soil on the bottom. And we'll have a look at the tree and see what we can pot it up in. Pre-mixed soil, as you see. If you have to see what soil I use, go to Madam Bonsai soil mix in the other YouTube channel, the other YouTube video, you will see it. Now after you prep that, I'd like to cut off some of these roots because they don't look too healthy to me. They're so brown, so we're gonna go closer, clean up all this top root first anyway. We don't need this. And we want to show the major big root so the tree can look a lot older. So we take all that off. Just remember, I work in the garden, so it's a little bit difficult for me, but that's okay. You see how we wanted to show the big root there? So to do that, you just trim all this top one off. Make the tree look clean. Don't get scared with cutting the root off too, because it's stimulated to grow new roots. If you need to help it quicker, put the tree into a bit of a root hormone. Any root hormone that you have, it will help the tree to grow a lot faster than pot up, normally pot up. So now if you see the pot is not that thick, so you're going to cut off all these. Just keep enough. I would normally wash these too, but sitting here I don't have it. It doesn't hurt if you don't, but you watch it, is any fungus or anything on it, it can come off. The tree look healthy enough, so I don't have to concern. So I already have an idea of how to style this tree, so I'm going to pot up the tree like that. And we do the top there, the branch there, make it small, so I'm going to pot it up as that for now. All the tidying up trees is really important because you can hold your tree to do the design a lot easier when you do wiring. Unless you wire a tree that is already exists in the pot, it's stable, but if tree you just pot up, make sure you have all these tied down correctly. Just make a few of them. I think that's good enough. If you're not sure, just leave the tree, rest it, stand back, have a look at it. Don't ever pot up a tree that you're not happy with and you keep saying, oh, it doesn't matter. Stand back, leave it there. Even 5 minutes later, you come back and then pot it up correctly. Because one day in there, you don't want to change and repot another few years or 5 years. Some of them, if I'm happy with the pot, I leave it for 10 years even. So the tree one it sit in, you have a look at the root again. If they're everywhere and it sit above pot and all that, so trim it down. Tree secure really good. I already have an idea what I style later, so that's it. And then you just fit your soil in. Back of your tool or chopstick, just gently get your soil down. Small tree like this is really easy to work with. Get your, I always wanted to ask David, what do you call these parts of your palm? But I never do. Just to press all the soil around the pot, at the edge of the pot down. Pardon me with English sometime, be patient. I couldn't stop laughing because I asked David what this part called. He said the fat part of your hand. So I can't pick on my Catoniaster, or you can't pick on my English now, David. I can pick on yours too. Okay, that's done, so we're gonna put it. Okay, stop it. No, we can't stop laughing. So that in, I'm gonna apply some wire. I haven't thought of what I'm doing yet, but I can have an idea of what I want to style this tree into. Same thing, darling. To put a wire in, just pick the gate. As I mentioned before, gate of wire is you apply on, press on them. If both of them move gently together, it means they are a good gate for it. if you're not sure, just apply them on first and then you can see the style. The tree will talk to you. I always believe that. If you don't follow any books to style certain tree, then you just enjoy your tree. As myself, I never follow any books. Of course, the basic of styling is I understand the leaving the condition of it in the natures, and then I style the tree to that. So I don't force the tree too much. Yeah. But why do I always worry that viewer get bored with long video? Think about it. This is my work. I can shorten it a bit, but if you watch me closely, you can style a tree very, very easy. Tree talk to you, I always said, but really just watch me and you can pick up any tree and eventually you can see the start of the tree really, really good. That's it. Most of the wire is in, I mean the main one. And then I will quickly style it for you. Juniper are very easy variety to do wiring because they're really, really flexible. And they can put up with a little bit of Cambion brakes and all that too. So really good tree for learner. And also they a little bit, they hurt your hand a little bit when you work. So wear gloves or maybe or something just to help you not getting pain through the needle to your hand. The needle is very sharp. I love juniper, so I can't say even my hand is bleeding, I'm still wiring it. Yeah, so pretty much you just get your wire in and you can trim the tree, or you can trim the tree first before you style. So we just create the pattern. Whatever you do, just make sure that the sun does that. So if you wire a tree opposite with the sun direction, what happens is you got to move your tree a lot and they don't set. When you remove the wire, the tree will go back to the same habit of what they did before. So if you look at where you want to put the tree, if you want to do the cascade, then the sun have to be here and upright. So you just try to imagination it is living in the wild like that, in the forest. I'm going to gin this bit, but in the meantime, I wanted to wire there, so later on it can be, when you gin something, I want it to be alive. So until it dry out, or the dead bit is that way, the idea of ginning, but if they alive and you gin, you wood hardening it, and it become like pretty much rocks, last forever. Someone asked me about, I think we're Matt, asking what product of wood hardening I use. I use all very different. Any hardware store will have it. Just ask for wood hardening, and you can apply from all the wound, the gin you do first. After that, you can create the color. Like if you want white, then you mix lime to it to create the white color looking, or you want timber look, you can put a bit of timber stain on it to make the color, or natural, you only to leave it, and then in time the weather, it will do it anyway. So depend on what you want to do with the look of what you want to create in future. So there you go, Matt. Wood hardening, any hardware store have it. In Australia, we have Bunnings. What else?
For those people who don't know, Anne, do you want to explain that gin is the simulation of Deadwood?
Yes. So if you look up there, that radiator pie up there, so that called gin. And then one of my friends get excited and painted white with lime. So if you mix lime with a little bit of paint, white paint, make sure it's satin. It created that. And in time they get older, they look quite nice too. So if you look in video like show and all that they make, you watch from Japan and all that, and you keep thinking why they're not paint, they're more like lime. That you can do paint too, but remember whatever you apply on a tree, it makes sure the health of the tree is there. The lime does get on the root, it harm the tree too. So careful when you do that. So I'm gonna trim this tree quite bare. Modern bonsai exists for me, what, 7 months, 8 months now. Never one tree that I do and I feel like it's not enough. I asked David not to post it, but he doesn't listen to me. He said, Anne, if it's not good enough for you, it's a lot better for us. So you see the tree now. This is what I wanted to do. This is the training part, but later on, this pot should sit like this. I couldn't do it before because one side of the roots are completely not there. So I'm gonna have to build the root system first before we can pot it up to what we want. So I was just saying I ginned this, but if you look at the tree now, it become too busy. So I'm gonna take that off completely. This one here, wrong pair player, and you can have a little gin here if you feel like it. Okay, this is gonna do, the tree gonna be like this, but you remember I took the tree out. This part have no root at all. So I wanted to create the root first, and then maybe a year later we will pot the tree up that way. Let me pack that up so you can see the tree. So in here we grow a new system of root first, and then we pot the trees up like that. So if you see, it kind of, the tree falling, you see the bend up there, you're just going that way and that way there. And I think if you get into the right pot, give this tree maybe not long, it will end up with quite a decent starter bonsai. Now, talking about cutting leaf for juniper, why it get browns and all that. So when you do juniper, this is a training, but if the tree that is already beautiful and you want it to keep always beautiful, you don't trim it with your secateurs. They are tip growth. So you go and pinch it like that. The same with the hinoki. If you already watched my hinoki video, hold your tree down and you pinch it so they don't get brown. Or tip grow, you can do this. Any tree you walk out in your garden and you see the tree grow from the tip of the foliage, it means you pinch it, they don't get brown. If you chopped it, they get brown. But this tree we're building the frame, so we don't have to worry. Even if brown doesn't matter because the new foliage coming out, and that's what we wanted to keep. But I think I'm happy with it. Just, you know, a tree jutting on the corner for years. After that garden, I might hate the tree so much that I don't even look at it. After David gone, I probably start applying for a lot of more small wire on, and then I can pat it up correctly for you guys to look at it. But if I sit here for an hour to do that, maybe it's bought you out. But that is juniper, quick style. So you can style any tree. Juniper, you can get them very cheap too. So part of the trees is finished. So I'm gonna go to the garden and pick up some of the moss here. Just check, make sure your moss is clean at the back. And you dress your tree up. Later they bond together and you can put into the new pot the way you want it to. But this is me. I always make sure that they bond into the trees. You can dress with a little, you know, like figuring and all that. But the first year always just try to make the tree healthy. After you finish, we just give it a good water. Just leave your on shower or even mist first and then shower. Same thing as every time. You can shower or mist. I do this mist only because I don't need to wash the tree. If the tree not that clean, you can give it a wash, but the trees is really clean enough. So that's it for today, Juniper. I've got requests. So that the tree we see before and that the trees now. Subscribe if you want to see Madam Bonsai again. Request whatever you feel like it. I will go through every single video and provide you with all that information at my very best understanding to you all. So goodbye for now and look forward to see you next video.